All right, cool.
And this will be on all platforms because a lot of people want to see it. I was going to go live, but if I go live, then they won't go watch it.
Yeah, it's gonna the video will be on YouTube, and then the audio will be on anything. Shut up. Fuck. The audio will be on Pandora, any podcast app, Spotify, Apple, all that kind of shit. The guest ones I always put out sooner. It's the other ones that I don't really put out because I don't really care.
2 months.
You guys are fucks. If you want to, at any time, if you want to take over editing,
next Christmas.
I'm happy to pass it
2024.
off. 2024. A bunch of dicks.
We look back on this episode fondly as Chris is no longer with us.
Marvin will open like 17.
You muted me. My job's easy for the
Good evening, everyone.
Oh, man.
Traffic accident.
What's going on, y'all? You're tuning in to the highest rated, most listened to podcast to ever grace the airwaves, and you're a better person for listening to us. All right, maybe not, but you're really going to enjoy it anyways. This is Made to Motivate podcast, and we'll be talking social media hot topics, pop culture news, the greatest in movies and music, and all things sports. Make sure you're following us on social media at Made to Motivate podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can watch the show on our YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and with that being said, let's get this show started. What is going on, y'all? This is Made to Motivate Podcast, Season 6, Episode 6. This is your host, Ryan Weiss. I'm joined, as always, by the one and only, the film freak, Christopher Kessinger.
Has that intro always been there?
No, it's new, just for you.
Great.
How's it going?
Oh, great to be here.
Good to have you, sir. We're also joined by former guest of show, started from the bottom, now he's here, Daniel, the shoe guy Sandmann.
What's going on?
The new co-host. How's it going?
Co-host. I like that. Hey, where am I at on the episodes with Jesse? Did I pass them up?
No, I think you're still two back.
Two back?
Yeah.
You're getting
right.
there.
You're getting there.
You'll be back. You'll be above and in front soon.
Give
And we got a special guest with us, Marvin Montgomery Jr. from Kicks and Cuts is here with us today.
Thank you.
How's it going, man?
Guys? Everything's good, man.
Very good. Happy to have you here.
Blessed to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Been looking forward to this for a while. We talked about it. It seems like a long time ago.
It's been a few months.
Been up to the shop a couple of times, sold me some pairs, chopped it up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Up at the store, and I'm happy to be down here, talk to you guys. Relax. I'm never relaxed.
Yeah, dude. That's how it rolls when you got a million things going on all the time. But yeah, super pumped to have you here.
Thank you.
So we're gonna have Marv on for the Made to Motivate segment today, and we'll kick off with our just week in review. Daniel, Christopher, what's new and exciting since last week? It's been 2 weeks as a Brad.
Yep.
But what's new since then?
Billiards tournament, man, and back in the semifinals.
Yeah,
as usual.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Brad,
humble brag.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
I'm back in the finals. You know, like where I belong.
Well, I mean, you get those kind of perks. But yeah, speaking of Brad, I got to face him in the semifinals, so that's gonna be a good game.
You think it'll be a challenge at all?
I think it's gonna be a good challenge. Yeah, I think we might go the distance. Both players will be bringing it that game.
Nice.
Other than that, though, just working, getting ready for my next staycation or slaycation. I'm gonna bring that segment back to where
slaycation, yeah,
where I hit up some restaurants locally that I've never been to, so it should be fun.
Dope. Daniel,
Nice. Oh man, lots going on since the last.
Yeah.
I got a job offer.
Really?
So yeah.
Where?
Finally.
Champion Windows. Yeah.
I didn't think you'd actually say it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I'm pumped about this opportunity, but I try to get started in April, but my golf vacation falls during the third week of training, so they won't have me start until May. So I got another month off. Got to start doing some door dashing or something.
Yeah.
Get some income flowing through until then, but
sell some more shoes to Kicks and Cuts.
Hey, I'm probably going to be doing. I got some Grateful Dead dunks that I'm looking to offload here.
Yeah.
The green
I don't
one.
know if Marvin's ready for that.
But so yeah, that was great news. Did some remodeling to one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Took care of that. Made some bags.
Yeah.
What else did I do?
You've been busy. I mean, you've been off work, but you've been definitely
staying busy,
so
trying to as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have things to do, I'd lose my mind. Got the Mitsubishi running finally since I think it's been since December that it's been on.
Yeah.
ramps.
Been that long?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, I remember when he first talked about it on here, taking that gas can off or trying to figure out buying.
Yeah,
the gas can
driving out
from.
to Detroit to
yeah.
pick up the tank. Yeah.
I guess that was right though.
Yeah, it's been a while, but got it running because gas prices are through the roof and the STI is not good on gas. So
Yeah,
I needed that up and running.
not ideal.
Yeah, boy, they're really taking it. Those sanctions are really fucking over the Russians right now, man.
Meanwhile, we're all, especially a guy without a job right now, you can't go anywhere.
Fucking guys.
That bicycle's about to get some work.
Do it up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
wild,
that's it. That's all I got, really.
Yeah. Marv, how about you? Did you do anything exciting this past weekend or anything exciting going on this week?
I just got back from Tampa.
Yeah.
I was down there for a little vacation over spring break. It was great. And got back to work this week. Excited for this podcast, honestly, just to talk about what's going on, what's planned for the future.
Absolutely.
I've just been working every day.
How is Mr. Brady doing down there?
Mr. Brady. Who's Mr. Brady?
Tom Brady.
Oh,
The one and only.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You know, he was hanging out at the beach.
Yeah,
Right, of course.
He threw me a football in the sand. He threw me a football.
You didn't pay $500,000 for it, did you?
Oh, God.
No, just short of that.
Hey, fuck that guy. That's his problem, man.
Yeah. Whatever. All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. We'll get into more about what Marv's got going on when we do his segment here shortly. We do have the moment you've all been waiting for. These bad boys. We had our giveaway on the Instagram for the Sam Smith, West. I don't know. These were
Peter Pan
these are from
Tinkerbell.
Dan the shoe guy decided he was going to raffle these off on the show for us. So we've got to spin the wheel with the people that entered on the Instagram. This was our first giveaway on there. So
Yeah.
it wasn't huge, but it was, hey, it's something to give away. And we're going to have Marv choose our winner. So if you want to go ahead and click that and show it off to that camera when you get a response, and we will see who's going to win a pair of Stan
I
Smith
can't do a drum roll.
Disney mashups. Who do we got?
See if it'll focus.
I don't know if it'll focus, but
Allisonis. Allisonis.
all right.
All right.
Thank
Got
you,
a
sir.
winner.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, Allisonis, you are our winner.
Congrats.
We will contact you to grab your super awesome shoes. So thanks for participating, everybody that entered into the giveaway.
That's super cool.
Yep.
Much
Support's appreciated. Sharing it and everything. Goes a long way.
For sure. I'm not the greatest about the Instagram.
Neither am I.
There's so many platforms to cover, and it's just like it's really hard to post podcast content on Instagram. I got to do better about it. So I'm trying to do better about that. So I do appreciate it. What is it?
Insta Reels.
What's that? Oh, yeah, Reels. I got to get better about doing that kind of. I want to do more content.
I think you can do like 3 minutes on Reels.
Yeah. I was doing really good doing like segments, like little clips of like funny parts of the show and like uploading those to there. I just got to get better about doing it because the Reels is huge now. That's like a big file.
Make sure the YouTube videos get up, consistently, and then worry about the Reels.
These guys.
Mute his mic, not mine.
Chris is
Both
loving it.
Both you fucks. All right, y'all. So we're gonna head into Made to Motivate. We're gonna talk with Marv. You guys can find out about a little bit what he does and why we had him on the show, and we will go from there.
Love this one. We don't get to do it often.
Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it.
All right, y'all. So Marv Montgomery Jr. Go by Marvin.
Yeah.
Marv.
A lot of people call me Marv.
So we asked Marv to come on the show. First heard about what Marv does, I believe, from Dan. Is that where we found? Was it?
Yeah, I saw a lot of people were sharing his location on Facebook, and I was getting some messages because my friends know that I'm into shoes, so they're like, "You got to check this guy out." Right. That was probably summer, late summer.
You guys came up was like June, July, or August.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sometime around there.
Yeah, so we found out about Marv just from word of mouth, and obviously you all know me and Dan are very into shoes, and that's a big part of what Marv does. So we wanted him to come on and tell us his story and kind of where he got to where he's at now. So I'll let you do a little just intro about yourself quickly, and then we'll kind of go into what you do and see what we talk about.
Right. So like he said, I'm Marvin. I graduated from Woodridge High School in 2020. And I was supposed to go to John Carroll University, major in marketing, minor in entrepreneurship, run track up there. And after the first like couple of weeks, it was all online. I really wasn't enjoying it and kind of wanted to fulfill myself. So decided to leave school, and Kicks and Cuts kind of came into play. So it was around like October time, sat down with my parents, friends, family. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to open up a store. And one of my buddies kind of gave me the name Kicks and Cuts. And it's right on the upstairs of my mom's nail salon and boutique. She's been in business since 93. Wow. And it's pretty cool, honestly. We get to bounce off of each other. And the whole month of November was just getting things together. You guys know we have the grass wall up there.
Yep.
If you don't know what the grass wall is, it just says "We made it" in there with a neon sign. Anytime you purchase something, get a little boomerang with your bags.
I thought that was cool. I checked that out.
And I think that's like a highlight of the store. You know, you made it. We made it up here. Whether it's, you know, purchasing something, a haircut, whatever it is, you made it up to my store. You took time out of your day to come and support me and my passion and what I'm doing. So Kicks and Cuts is the name. Streetwear, shoes, accessories. I got $10 tees. I got $500 jackets. I got crazy stuff. So it ranges, and I'm just trying to build my inventory and build my name to keep getting people to come in. And it's all about repeat business and referrals. So
absolutely. I mean, just since the time we came, I mean, it's grown so much. I mean, when we came, I don't think you had many clothes or very few.
I think there's like one rack, maybe really, two.
Yeah, you've really expanded. So I mean, you can see the growth that's continually happening as the business grows. And
I think that's a big part of it, showing growth, you know. I mean, I could have went head over heels and been a lot more in debt and had the full store packed, but to be honest, at the beginning, funds weren't there. And on top of that, the foot traffic wasn't there. So I mean, you can have a packed store, but if you're not getting foot traffic isn't there, then, you know, so I started off slow. I had a lot of consigners that didn't really work out for me. I didn't like it. So it's kind of everything up there is me.
Dope.
For about like 95%. A couple of my buddies, you know, let them consign up there. But besides that, I don't take like bulk consigning.
Cool.
Was it scary leaving school, or did your confidence drive you to like know that you were going to succeed at this thing?
Honestly, like as corny as this sounds, I think the scariest part to me was like in 2024, when all my friends graduate and stuff, they're going to have degrees, you know, cap and gown pictures. Those graduation parties and stuff that I'll probably attend. And I think that's probably like the hardest hump for me, is to think like, you know, no degree in hand. But I think in life, it's more than just, you know, what you have on paper, 100%. Especially depending on what you're going into.
What you do in year 4 is you do a graduation ceremony in front of your "We Made It" sign.
I'll have a grad party up at my store,
and you show where you're at in 4 years. I get that diploma thing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a college graduate.
No,
I went to school. I was going to school to be for art education, and it was not for me. Like, I gave it a shot because that's kind of like the thing we're supposed to do, and I didn't love it, and I dropped out, and I pursued an art career of my own, and I do graphic design and art, and I do clothing, and I do everything I was going to do with that, but on my own, and didn't accrue that debt. And I think it's becoming more of a norm now to not necessarily need a degree to be successful.
It doesn't guarantee anything.
You're a doctor or like, you know, something where like you really should have it. But for the general, like going to school and getting a business degree, just to have a degree, it's not necessary anymore. So you can be successful without that.
And I congratulate, I applaud. I'm happy for anybody that's in school. I think it's super cool. I think it's definitely a great experience.
Takes a lot of dedication too.
Takes a lot of dedication. But for me, it just wasn't my path. And I've been speaking a lot at high schools, entrepreneurship programs, middle schools, even as young as like 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of them can relate to me being so young. Because I'm only 20. I just turned 20 in February.
Wow. So that's refreshing.
A lot of them can, you know, kind of relate to me. And I kind of wanted to take that different path. I mean, I remember I was selling snacks out of my locker.
Yeah, dude. That's how I've been.
Like, I had a clothing line. I would sell clothes out of my locker. Like, people knew, like,
you want to be an entrepreneur, man. A hustler.
Some people are born for it, though. That's how it is. Aside from like the obvious, like, you know, you run a completely different shop visually, but like, what would you say about your model drives you for success compared to other shops?
So there's a million other sneaker stores. There's a million. I'd say in an hour, 2-hour drive of mine, there's probably 5-6 dozen stores. So we're all carrying the same product essentially, which are shoes. We're all carrying clothing.
Yep.
We're all carrying the Jordans, the new releases. So I think what sets me apart is my customer service.
Mhm.
When you come up, I want you to be welcomed, whether it's me or one of my employees, whether it's one of the barbers saying what's up to you. Customer service is the number one priority, because at the end of the day, you can go buy a $300 Yeezy from me. You can buy it from GOAT, StockX, any of the other stores.
Right.
But I think another thing that sets me apart as well is the barbershop. So you can't just get the shoes and clothes. You can get a haircut. You can get a facial.
Yeah.
You can get literally head to toe in my store, from a pair of pants, shoes, socks, clothes, and get a haircut. So
Yep.
I think that is really a distinctive factor. And then my mom being on the downstairs,
Right.
we have couples come in. The wife might be downstairs getting her nails done. Husband could be upstairs getting a haircut, and maybe they have a kids running around. We got the Pac-Man machine.
Right.
Maybe the kid's getting a haircut. So
I'm
it's a
coming for that
very-
high score, by the way.
You're not gonna get the high score.
I'm coming for it.
Come get it. 25% off this week.
Something I noticed in his videos is you always see him walking around that counter to hand the bag.
Oh yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that. Like, that's that customer service you're saying. Like, and not many people pick up on that, but I've been in customer service for the most part of my career and
Right.
working, and seeing that, and your hand, instead of passing across that counter, there's that barrier, you're walking around and handing it to them. And that's commendable.
Well, one thing, if anybody hits that computer screen, they're gonna die.
Right. Yeah. I
No,
feel
but
that.
that's one thing I actually say
Personal
to my
touch.
employees. I mean, walk around the counter. You know, when you walk in, there's a million ways you can greet somebody.
Yep.
So I could say hi to somebody, right? I could say hi, thanks for coming up to Kicks and Cuts. If you have any questions, just let me know, right? Then I could also say, hi, welcome to Kicks and Cuts. I'm Marvin. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I'm automatically, no matter what's going on, I'm gonna 90% probably put a smile on your face just from, just a
friendly
nice
interaction.
smile instead of,
Yep.
So stand up, come around the corner, say what's up. And then when you give them the bag, walk them there. And some people want to just come up just to be like, they'll come and buy something
Just for the
just to
experience.
be in front of the grass wall.
Yeah. That's dope.
He was
though.
like, I don't know if I want, this guy came up today. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't just want one bag in my hand. I got to get something else. So he can have 2 bags in front of the grass wall.
we balling
It's like
out.
a little flex, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope though. I mean, you're creating an image and a name for your brand in the experience or the environment of the shop. And that's
Right.
a big deal, because that, like you said, I mean, that sets you apart from every other shoe store that's out there. You know,
Yeah.
you're creating an environment people want to come in and just be there to hang out and have a good time. And
my
that makes a
dad
big
is
deal.
a motivational speaker and sales trainer.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
his phrase is get Marvinized.
That's fantastic.
So he
Wow.
comes and speaks to my employees and my mom's employees.
That's so cool.
Nice.
He travels all over, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Marvin Jr. He's Marvin Sr. And
It's so funny you say that, because that's literally what my dad does.
Really?
Like, my dad retired from Signet or Sterling after 34 years, and he became an executive coach and like salesperson. That he does
Wow.
that on his own. And that's just weird. It's like not like a very large industry of people
Yeah.
that do that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean you drop out of school, main focus just because the overall missing the experience, like not
Yes.
the in-person like interact. You don't get that Van Wilder experience. You're sitting at home behind a computer. Is that like,
Right. So
I mean,
I'd say like good, bad, ugly, amazing, great. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And I like really stick to that. So I honestly think if I would have went to campus and was on campus, I'd 100% still be in school. Kicks and Cuts wouldn't be a thing. I'd be focused on running. I'd be wanting to do really well in running. That was my thing in high school. But I think the fact that I was literally I'd wake up, my bed's here,
Yeah.
my desk is here,
Yeah.
I'd get up. Oh, oops.
you're right.
Sit down,
Yeah.
and then for 6 hours just be going through classes.
Yeah.
Like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
No.
You're one
And
person,
honestly,
I think, that can
congrats
thank
to
COVID.
everybody that made it. through
No, I
their
mean, bro,
freshman
it's
year.
not for everyone. And I imagine, I work from home, so I get
Right.
it. Like, it's not leaving your house is not super exciting. But I mean, not many people are taking a positive away from the COVID experience. And for you, I mean, it kind of fueled a dream or a passion that you
Right.
had. So I mean, that's fantastic to be able to lead that. What made you decide this is what you want to do? I mean, is this something, a shoe store or a art barber type thing, something you had always wanted to do, or you knew like, I'm dropping out of school, I want to start a business, what am I going to do? Like, what was it already there?
So,
Or
like I've always been like a people person. So I guess all throughout high school, like I was doing a ton of different revenues, like a ton of different things. Like, how can I bring that all together to all make money, of course, to some extent, but still bring me happiness and still be fun. So I can film, I can take pictures, I can talk to people. I love being on social media. I love being in front of a camera. I love talking to people. I love retail, I love clothing, shoes. So all of that is a part of Kicks and Cuts. I mean, I film YouTube videos, I take pictures. I can still create and design, whether it's Kicks and Cuts merch or my clothing line, which I'll touch on. I got to tell you guys about my clothing line, but I can do all of the things that I love to do through Kicks and Cuts. And I'm not trying to be this person or be that person or run here, run there. I'm at Kicks and Cuts, and I can do everything that I want to do.
Can I say something? Just an observation real fast. He really is personable because he's looking right at the camera. Like, he's talking to the people watching at home. He's not necessarily talking to us as much. He's talking to them, which is different for any guest we've ever had on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I'm done now.
I don't even look in the camera that often.
I know, Dan. We notice.
A lens is another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
true,
for
man.
the YouTube channel, that's what I've been trying to figure out. I mean, I've been so like, put the camera behind the desk, film a customer, but that's not really me.
Yeah.
I need to just pick up the camera and be myself and talk to people.
Absolutely.
But before I forget.
Yeah.
So my sophomore year of high school, I started Climate. Climate has a K in it.
Yeah.
For Akron.
I've seen this.
So it's freeze during the fall and winter.
Yep.
Breeze during the summer and spring. And the two E's in freeze and breeze are threes. Represent 330 the Akron area.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that.
I had swimsuits, bathing suits, dry fit tees, shorts in the summer. I would do photo shoots outside with my friends. And then in the winter, we did hoodies, jackets, sweatpants, socks. So I carry that in store too. So that's kind of stayed with.
That was something you started before, and it just kind of, it was
it was something like I'm not the most involved in right now, but I try to keep it in my store. People ask about it. So it's something dope. I need to kind of rebuild back.
So it does have a demand, definitely.
Yeah. I would say like anytime I've released something, it's sold out. Whether, I mean, maybe it didn't sell out that day, that week, that month, but it always, I'm not just left with a ton of inventory left over from it.
And that kind of led me to my next question too, was that like, so you offer so many different products there, obviously. So like, what do you know, even where do you start with ordering? Like, is it based on demand? Is it based off style? How do you order?
It's based on TikTok right now.
Yeah. What's trending?
I mean, I just got back from Vegas in February. There's a huge show called Magic. It's a crazy clothing convention. And that's where I can make a lot of accounts with a lot of the brands you guys know. Gorin Bros, for instance. It's like a hat company. They put the animal and put some stupid word on it. So this is stallion. And it sells. And people love it right now.
Right.
So, I try to make accounts with those guys to have wholesale contracts. So then I'm making money on that.
Actually making profit. Yep.
I guess what's hot right now are dunks. Dunks are hot right now. All the easy releases. So basically, if it's on TikTok and it's trending, I mean, I'm trying to get my hands on it through bulk suppliers online. But that can also lead to another thing. I know one of the questions that you had for me was, what has been some of the hardest, trials, tribulations, or whatever.
Biggest struggles. Biggest struggle you've had.
Like scammers online. I mean, it's ridiculous.
That ticked me off. That story.
I don't know how much money I've lost.
Yeah.
Like, now it's definitely 5 digits of money that I've lost since I've started from scammers.
So you mean you buy from them and they rip you off, is what you're saying?
So, on Instagram, I've gotten really good at it. You can look at a page and tell if it's fake or not.
Yeah.
Based on how many people they're following, how many followers they have, their engagement, how often they're posting, the pictures, if they have stories, if they have highlights, if they have a reference page.
Got to have activity going
on. So a lot
of
these guys have reference pages, but they've gotten good at faking their reference pages. So in February last month, I was supposed to get some Bread 350 Yeezys, which is a really hot shoe. And I was supposed to get some Jordan Mocha ones, which is also a really hot shoe. I forget how many pairs of each I was supposed to get, but it ended up being, it was like a 3K transaction. Wow. So originally I asked him if he did GUA, which is basically he would ship the shoes and then I would pay once I received the shoes, which is how I'm strict about it, and I'm doing it now. Because you can go on my page, you can see that I'm a real person from the events. I'm always doing some stupid video, posting stories, lives. It's real. I'm an LLC. So whatever. I was kind of in the moment. That's what happens. You're in the moment. You're super excited about the shoes you're getting. The price was kind of too good to be true, which is also a red flag. If the price is too good to be true, just leave it alone. So I gave him half of the money up front. And he was like, he had dropped it off at UPS, sent me like tracking. This guy was good. Sent me the tracking code, sent me pictures of everything. I was like, it's kind of like, geez, you're sending me a lot of pictures.
Yeah, it's kind of like overkill.
Yeah, it was like overkill.
Yep.
So then after he dropped it off, he started blowing up my phone. He was like, hey, I dropped it off. Are you sending the other half? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, I thought you were going to send the other half once I dropped it off at UPS. He's like, if you can't send the other half, no worries. I'll just cancel the order.
Damn.
So I was like, you know, in my head, I'm like, well, I don't want you to cancel. Like, I got some of these already pre-ordered. People have already like, I want these.
Yeah.
I've been like kind of advertising it. So I sent him the other half.
Damn.
So then box comes and I'm in Vegas at that magic show. And one of my employees is at the store. I'm like, hey, can you open up the box? Should be a couple pairs. They're like, Marvin, it's only one box here.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Oh,
so I'm like, open it up. And it's a fake pair of Chunky Dunks used.
Damn.
So I'm out of $3K. I got a fake pair of shoes that I can't even sell in the store.
Yeah.
And then you try to dispute it and then no luck.
Yeah.
So I've really tried to limit my online transactions.
How did you do the purchase?
Cash App.
Damn.
I disputed it on Cash App. I called my local.
Because I was gonna say, if you do it through your
manager,
bank, you could
disputed
for
it.
sure dispute it. But
You
since
can
it's through a
claim
third
fraud.
party, you can't.
Yeah.
And it happened to like 3 other guys because
Yeah.
I posted about it. I made a whole YouTube video on it.
Damn, bro.
3 other store owners had contacted me saying, I just got scammed by this guy.
Dang.
Damn.
And guess what? They all got their money back.
They probably went through their bank.
They did Apple Pay or something
Yep.
else.
Yeah. Okay. So I worked in banking for a really long time up until a year ago. And we would have issues with that all the time. People would want to dispute, like the money would transfer from us to Cash App or Venmo or something to make the purchase. And because it transacted through a third party, they are basically in charge of trying to dispute. You don't have the Visa. It's called, I can't remember. I've been out of it for so long, a whole year. But anyways, it's your liability protection.
Right.
You use your Visa card, you have protection through that vendor. So in which case you probably could have you probably would have gotten your money back.
And every time that
fucked.
I've tried to dispute a transaction, whether it's Venmo, whether it's Cash App, Zelle, I never win.
No.
And I show the receipts.
Another
Thing,
yeah,
people
Zelle
would
you
like
can't.
to charge back on the website. So I stopped shipping for a couple months.
Yeah.
If you placed an order on my website for a little bit of time, I would just cancel it unless you selected in-store pickup.
Yeah.
Because I had a guy, he purchased
It's so
3 pairs of
fucked
shoes
up.
online, like a $900 transaction. So of course I'm super excited. Dude's out of state. I'm like, cool, like whatever. Money hits my account. Obviously it's through Square. It's through my website provider. So I wasn't tweaked out at all. Shipped it out. Then they requested a chargeback. So now I'm out of the inventory and I'm out of the money.
I mean, that's
so crazy.
That's stealing.
It's stealing.
It's stealing.
I don't understand.
Plain and simple.
And then basically, I would do the chargeback through Huntington. I would show them where the shoes got shipped to, the number that they would put on it, the name, the card. And what happened was, say I stole your card.
Yeah.
Then I purchased these shoes online, and then you're looking at your bank statement like, what is this?
Yeah.
So you're charging it back because you don't know what it is.
Yeah. But
And the other
actually
person
got
that
it.
already got it is
You
gone.
still should be protected through Visa with that. Like that's crazy to me that you're getting scammed and not getting compensated for it, because I mean that's wild. I use Square. I mean, I used Square for the longest time for Rock Everywhere. That was my processor.
The who I'm using. Well, they were who I was using when I got scammed a few times.
I gotcha.
Chargeback.
And Visa is required to tell you why they turned it down too. So it should be like, in addition to it, they should say, well, not enough information or something like that. They need to tell you the reason why they turned it
Square
down.
will flag stuff.
Yeah.
Square will say this looks
Suspicious. Yep. Square's good. That's wild. Well,
so I haven't had any issues since I went to Square.
good. That's good.
And
Okay.
again, it's all about learning
Yeah.
mistakes. Like if I wouldn't have had half the mistakes that I've made, who knows where I'd be at.
It's all learning experience, man. There's, especially, I mean, at your age and this being like your first large endeavor. I mean, it's a big business you're taking on, and you in a very hot market, which opens you up for a lot of a lot of people to take advantage. So, I mean, those are all things you just kind of adjust to and figure out what's the best option or route for you,
right?
Which it seems you're doing. You're adjusting, you change merchant services and stuff like that, and you adapt to the market to figure out. what works.
And I know this is like, the Made to Motivate podcast. I'd say like for anybody that's aspiring to do something, I mean, just go for it. Pick up that camera, put that pencil down, whatever it is, just go for it. I mean, there's a ton of other stores doing it better than me right now, but I'm, aspiring to get where they're at. Take a little recipe from everybody, but don't take too much of a recipe.
Yeah. You got to take risks. I mean, it's absolutely hard to jump into. I mean, when I started my stuff, I mean, I was very nervous to do it, because there is a lot of risk, and that's your livelihood, that's your reliance on, that's your job. So, but on the other side of the struggles, obviously, I mean, that's hard, and you're learning and you grow from it. But what about the positives? I mean, what's your biggest inspiring moment since starting this, or your biggest like feel good moment that's really made it like, all right, I'm glad I'm doing this. This is like where I want to be. What have you taken away?
I think every single day I have a moment where I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I have a moment where I'm like, I'm so happy that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a daily thing. I mean, today, it's not crazy, but I went back to my career tech program. It was DECA. It's a business management course.
Oh yeah, been there.
We traveled. We got to travel around. We had states, internationals, and I did a business plan on climate when I was in high school. It was a 20-page business plan, and I had to present in front of judges. And they're heading to national soon, so I was able to go and write a check to a group to help fund their trip, which is
awesome.
like
that's
crazy.
awesome.
I mean, in the moment, I'm just doing it, but like thinking back, like that's crazy.
It's a
big
full
deal.
circle.
I had people doing that for me, and now I'm doing it for
it's huge.
It's huge.
Yep.
Or even
you remember how that felt when they did that for you to send you there. Now you can reciprocate that and light people's lives up. Doing something like that.
Or like Sunday, I was at the Sneaker Exit. It was a nice sneaker convention in Cleveland, and I had a couple people come up to me like, "Are you Marvin from Kicks and Cuts?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Wow.
Like that's cool.
Sign them autographs,
and
bro.
Like
feels good.
Another thing, they were asking, "Hey, are you doing those sneaker events outside again?" It was like, okay, what I'm doing does
It's resonating
at some level to somebody. It means something. So, I also had like a little. I wouldn't really call it a podcast, but I was calling Mellow. I called it Mellow Marv.
Yeah. Okay. I saw that.
So I put my camera up and I would just talk about like, life.
Yep.
And there was a lot of people it's like 2 or 3 people per video, but they would personally text me like a paragraph explaining like how it helped them through like something or a situation.
That feels so good too when that happens.
Good.
Yeah.
Like I don't need a couple thousand people on my page
Yep.
hyping me up.
Right.
I want genuine people in my life that are like,
Same.
Bro,
they actually can either relate to what I'm saying or get some kind of boost of positivity from it.
That's what we say on here all the time. Like anytime we have guests, when we had Brad on, one of our the last guest we had on the previous episode was a recovering addict. Mm-hmm. And like our thing is always like, we're not the biggest show yet. Like we're still fairly new, but if we touch one person with one of these stories, that it makes a difference, where someone hears Brad's story and they know that they can recover and they can get out of that dark place that they're in. That's all that matters. If you can touch someone's life and make a positive change, that's all that matters. You don't need to buy followers and stuff just to like have clout online. Like we do this because we really believe in the product that we put out, and the people that do listen appreciate what we have to say. And that's all that matters.
Look at this setup you guys have. It's beautiful.
That's Ryan. I mean, that's
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are still a group. You know what I mean?
This is our show. They try and give me too much credit, but this show is the show because of us as a group. I don't get on here and do it myself. It is a group effort. And with your brand, I mean, people are relating to you. I mean, in this day and age, especially, to have someone leave their house, drive to your store and spend their money when they could go online and buy it and have it sent right to them.
That's a good point.
Says a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're in it, almost 2 years now?
Almost.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. 90% of businesses fail in the first year. So you've already broken that standard alone. And during COVID, I mean, it says a lot about the product. It says a lot about you. It's not even about the business. It says a lot about you because you created this business. It's a reflection of your effort. So I mean, something you should be proud of. I don't think we give ourselves as creators enough credit. Chris is a creator. Dan is a creator. We're creators. We fail to see the product that we put out a lot of the times, or don't appreciate what it is. And you should be very proud of what you're doing, because you're doing great stuff. So
I think when you're like in the moment of it, it's hard
Mhm.
to, because I'm seeing the goods, I'm seeing the bads,
Yep.
I'm seeing the back end, and I would say it is very hard to pat yourself on the back sometimes.
Yep.
But I will look back at pictures,
Mhm.
when the store was empty,
right.
Yeah.
when I didn't have a lot of shoes. And I think a big part of it as well is if I have enough variety where you come in, you're like, oh man, you have these, oh man, you have this.
Yep.
And you come in, you're like, oh man, he has this, or man, I enjoyed my haircut. Or
Yep.
you come in, oh, I didn't really see anything, but man, they were nice to me. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I really did enjoy my haircut. Thanks.
Hey. Beard. We'll get the beard.
Yeah,
right?
get the beard going. I
Get the
like it.
beard, right? Razor.
But yeah, there might not be something for everyone each time you come, but again, it's about that experience, and you get the word of mouth, and people talk about Marv. People are going to come there and talk about you and what your interaction was with them, and that's bringing people back.
That's another thing like that I had to like kind of get comfortable with is, I'd see other stores maybe posting they got full size runs of this new release, but you could even go to, I went to Urban Necessities in Vegas, biggest sneaker store in the 50 states, easily, I would say, in my opinion. They have ice cream, they have tattoos, they have haircuts, and they have shoes and clothes, right?
Wow.
They have 20 foot,
it's in Caesar's Palace,
20 foot high ceilings.
It's ridiculous. So
floor to ceiling sneakers.
I went in there and everything's kind of electronic, kind of how I set up my store where you can scan the QR code.
Yeah.
I like that kind of setup. So I walk in, I start scanning shoes. The first 3 or 4 dunks that I picked up didn't have my size. So then I just started looking around at clothes, and I ended up picking out a clothing item. That made me happy. And the reason why it made me happy is because I always get upset when somebody comes in and I don't have their size.
Yeah.
And, I don't have maybe their style that they're looking for. But to go into like one of the biggest sneaker stores and for them not to have my size, I was almost like smiling. I was like, yeah, good.
It's not just
I'm happy.
I'm
happy
unique.
to have my size.
10 and a half. 10 and a half, right?
Yeah.
That's my size. It's Ryan's size. It's like,
So
we're battling with lots of
can't
people.
have everything. I mean, you go into Dick's, you go into, whatever that store is that you love, you walk in and they don't have that medium, that large, that 10 and a half, that 11. So
16.
You wear size 16?
Yeah. It sucks.
I can source it, but it won't be sitting on my shelf.
You can send it to me in parts.
You don't have a shelf big enough.
Yeah, no shit.
Geez, 16.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's
easy to be discouraged.
Oh yeah.
As a smaller business that
You're a
people,
boutique shop.
Some people might be expecting that you have everything you're supposed to have. And then when even those big stores that don't carry it, yeah, I can see how
that's why it's nice, because then, okay, you didn't see something in the shoes. We have the clothes, we have the accessories, or you had somewhat of an impact, come up.
Yep. So, so you got into we talked about kind of how you got to where you're at, but what was your thought in the barber aspect? I mean, that's definitely a unique area to have, and it brings a different element to the shop. Is that something you continue to see? 2 parts. 1, why barber involved with the shoe thing? And then 2, is it something you see long term, or as you grow? I mean, are you going to be able to continue that, or are you going to expand your shop as a whole? Where do you see that going?
That was my next question too.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I definitely plan on expanding. I mean, everything has growth to it.
Of course.
You guys probably didn't have this set up when you started. So I would say I definitely want to grow. I want to keep growing, and I want to keep everything exactly how it is. At every location, store, whatever the case may be, I want there to be a grass swell with the We Made It. I want certain things to like stay the same, that original feel.
Absolutely.
And the barbershop plays a very big aspect in foot traffic and just like the uniqueness of the business.
Unique. Yep.
So the barbershop creates foot traffic. Like I said, it's unique.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for barbers. If you're licensed in the area, hit me up.
Hit up Akron Barber
And,
College. Do you ever work with the
Yeah,
Barber
yeah, I
College?
hit up the Barber College.
Yeah.
They know me well.
Yeah. That's a good place to go. I mean,
so yeah, it's definitely unique. And again, it brings foot traffic, and we offer the facials.
Yeah.
So a
big.
lot of women come in
Yeah.
get facials. I mean, I get facials every
Dude.
once in a while. So.
Well,
Yeah.
It sounds like, you have something for everybody. It's not just the men, it's not just the athletes and all of us that want to come in there and find something
Right.
we want. It's the wives, it's the kids, everything. And that's probably what makes your product unique, honestly, in the end.
Or somebody comes up to see kicks and cuts, and then they end up downstairs in Gilmore's for 30 minutes looking
Yep.
around at all this. I mean, my mom has a
huge.
ton of inventory.
Yeah,
downstairs.
it's
Ton.
Probably triple what the clothing, or quadruple maybe.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's good.
You could spend an hour down
Yeah.
there just going rack to rack.
Don't
hour
let them
and a half.
leave, man.
Yeah.
Keep them
You
there.
know, like I said, people come to see Kicks and Cuts, and then
Yeah.
they get stuck down there, or they come to see Gilmore's and get stuck upstairs. So
Yeah. You guys have a nice little family dynamic going there, and that helps, I think, too, with it being your mom. Obviously, she wants to see you do well and support you and stuff. So,
and my sister's a big part of it too. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been doing nails since she was 16.
oh, nice.
So she's
Okay.
been working with my mom straight out of high school.
Yep. Building the
So it's
little
it was
Montgomery
literally the same
empire.
Same
Yeah, no
thing.
kidding.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
though.
you get a lot of female sneakerheads in the shop
I
too.
honestly say I service probably more girls than guys.
Yeah.
There's a
It's-
lot more guys that have been coming in, but a lot of I offer more guys clothing, but
Yeah.
on the shoe side, it seems like I get like more dunks and
More
smaller
dunks,
size
right.
Yeezys, and that's what. Or I got the guys that come in that buy in pairs for him and
Yeah,
his girlfriend.
that's dope. Outside of the shoe stuff, so I mean, you kind of touched on it a little bit before with events and things, but I know you do work within the community, and I kind of want to talk about your give back because I think that's a really big deal. You said it with the business program, with the school,
Right.
but when you find the success and you're able to give back to the community, and that's one of the biggest rewarding parts, I think, of getting into entrepreneurial stuff. What kind of work are you doing, or what stuff have you done in the past or looking to do in the future with kind of community give back stuff?
So I looked back at it, and we gave back over 25K last year, which I was very
huge.
excited about. Very excited about. And there was different ways that was kind of dispersed. We did the Christmas give back.
Yep.
Where I serviced the I Promise School, which is LeBron School in Akron, Shelter Care, and Family Promise in Akron. So each school got an abundant amount of, not school, I Promise is the school.
Yeah.
The other two are shelters. We did bikes. I think I got 3 bikes donated and was able to go out and purchase some bikes. We went to Five Below and spent a ton of money. And I did another thing, when I do give backs, I like to involve other people.
Yeah.
So I went to Five Below with like 2 or 3 other buddies. And that's up on YouTube if you want to check the video out.
Yep.
But we went to Five Below. We got cosmetics. We got basketballs, footballs, soccer balls, makeup kits, blankets, gloves,
awesome.
hats,
It was dope.
socks, you name it. We got it at Five Below. Whatever Five Below has to offer.
Yeah.
So
It's not a sponsor, but if you
we
want to be,
went-
just let us know.
we went to I filled up a pickup truck and the backseat of the pickup truck, and then 2 other cars.
It's dope.
Drove it to my house, separated everything, and then I posted on my social media. I said, hey, I'm going to do a gift wrapping event at my store. So I got Buffalo Wild Wings to actually sponsor the gift wrapping thing. They brought up wings and fries.
Wow.
The Buffalo to Go place. The guy that runs it gets haircuts up at the shop.
That's dope.
Nice.
And I set up tables. I took all the barbershop chairs out of the store, if you can imagine this.
Wow.
And I set tables going basically the length from the counter all the way down to the shoe wall.
Yeah.
And I had tape all over the table, shrink wrap paper. I probably had about 15, 20 people up there wrapping stuff. You could eat wings. We had Christmas
Legit.
movies on the TVs. And it was a beautiful thing.
That's my kind of night, man.
It was beautiful.
It was cool. I watched
People
the video
that
of it.
don't talk to each other. I made teams of people. Like if you came, whoever you came with, you didn't work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had moms working with kids,
Very
kids
cool.
working with that. Like, I just meet this person, talk to this person,
Mingling,
tell them
yeah.
about yourself,
Yep.
wrap this stuff, get it done.
Yeah, very cool.
So that was one thing. And then I think going into this year, I think the monetary value and giving back is great, but I really want to give back more of myself and my time this year. So I'm really into like videography, photography, and drone stuff. So
Yep.
Family Promise is actually building homes for the homeless,
Okay.
like houses.
Yeah.
We're going to put you in this house after they have apartment complexes.
Yeah.
So you kind of, from the homeless stage, you go to the apartments and the whole family stays together. They have a animal shelter, so your animals can come as well.
It's dope.
And then as you build and progress, I guess that next level is the house. So I'm going to be filming video and drone of from start to finish. And I guess there's going to be some kids kind of going around with me doing that. So,
Very cool.
teaching people hands-on stuff opposed to here's a check, here's
Yeah.
this item. That's what these kids
Well,
don't
your
get time
time-
with
yeah.
people. That's
Time
what
is
it
more valuable.
Well, it's the whole teach someone to fish, how much you can eat for as long as you want.
Right.
Very cool. Yeah. Volunteering is very admirable as well, because it takes it when you own a business, you've got a million other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So to find that time and to be able to give back in the community is a big deal.
And I think for the right things too. That's like,
yeah,
I said yes to a lot of things last year, and I really, it's not that I want to say no more. It's more so I want to focus in on like who really needs it. You know,
that's my favorite Jim Carrey movie.
Like who really
Yes, man.
it?
Yes, man.
No, it's true though. I mean, because a lot of people, I don't want to say people are taking advantage of the situation, but if they know, when people see someone that has the willingness to give back, then people seek to want stuff. So you can't give to everyone. You have to be able to say no.
I put myself in some sticky situations when I was starting.
It happens.
I don't have
like
unlimited
what?
capital.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, you
got to make
giving
money
back
too
much, and then wanting to do this buyout, but then, I gave back too much here. And so that's what I'm really focusing on. Like, it needs to be good for me, not just for who's receiving.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you would change going back and looking back on it, hindsight?
Oh, a million things.
Just give me one or two.
I mean, I won't talk about certain organizations or anything, but there were times where I kind of felt forced into giving back more than really what I could. I mean, you can easily think somebody's doing great or amazing from the outside. Not saying I'm not doing well, but it was more like, I don't know. I felt like I was being used in a few situations.
Taken for granted.
It was almost like, okay, that check's written, and it's just kind of like a thank you.
Yeah.
And then,
right.
And then
hear
I'm
from
in my
them.
store later in the week, and I'm trying to pay my employees. I'm trying to buy new sneakers. I'm trying to cover overhead, rent. The Coke machine needs filled. I mean, these are little things that people that's
Don't
why I
think
get rid
about,
of the
man.
consigners. Like, being a business owner, there's a lot of expenses.
Mhm.
The shrink, like, okay, so I pay for the shoe. Say the shoe's $200. I pay for the shrink wrap. That shrink wrap goes on the shoe. Then the label that goes on the shoe. Then the sticker that goes on the shoe.
Each one times whatever.
And that the phone bill.
Yeah.
I think for the phone bill. I mean,
Bro, it's never ending. The list of
stickers that
expenses.
go on the kicks and cut stickers, the bags.
Yep.
I paid, I think, $1,000 for 1,000 bags.
Yep.
Just to get the logo on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's things like people don't think about.
People don't appreciate all of the work that goes into. People walk in that store and they see this beautiful store you've created and think, man, Marv's doing it, which you are, but what went into that? What is the time that you put it? It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not free of charge.
No.
I mean, the list and the time, especially the time,
I mean,
that people don't think about or care about or appreciate. It's so frustrating being in the industry for a long time myself, and all the work that goes into creating the products.
Right. Especially stuff that I've designed.
Yep.
Especially stuff that I've designed.
Yep.
I mean, I try to break it down to some people that come up that are like, I want to open a store. I'm trying to get like you. Da, da, da. Try to break it down to them. Like I was like, pay for this hanger, and then the tag gun that I use. I paid for that. And then the kicks and cuts tag, and then the label that I put on there. So
You're realistic though. That's
I try to break it down, because there's a lot of guys that come to me and they say, oh, I want to start a clothing line. Oh, I want to start a store. I'm like, this is great. I love your ideas.
Yep.
But before you come and ask me a question, what all have you put into it?
Yep.
That's the first thing I always ask people. And
Oh,
I'm like, so what have you done? Well, I just thought that maybe you can tell me where you get like your shirts printed. I'm not going to give you my connect if you have. You're just going to go
what
there
work
and
have you
say,
done? Yep.
Well, Marvin told me to call. Okay, so what do you have your logo? No.
Yep.
Do you know how many shirts? No. Do you know what brand shirts? No.
And then they come back to you and they're like, who's this guy you sent over? Like,
exactly. So I try to be that middleman and not be a dick, but I'm just like, hey, you need to have a logo. Like, what does this mean?
Yep.
Like, there's a million clothing lines out there. What does this mean? I can't just.
People have to appreciate the time and effort you put into it. When we started this podcast and I built the setup and like posted about it, it was an ongoing joke about who was going to message me today about,
oh God,
how do you do that? What's your process? What editing software do you, what do you use for your cameras? I'm like, I learned myself.
yeah.
What effort have you put into learn? Like, I'm all about helping people, but the people that don't want, like you said, that haven't
the
put
hardest
any,
part for
I'm
me.
like, I want to help you, but also I can't help every single person that wants me to give them a full rundown of the podcast experience and how it works. Or like with screen printing and my shirts and stuff, same thing. People want to know, but people don't put in the time themselves.
learn it.
It's not a handout. Like, what money do you have saved up to start this business? Do you have any capital involved to start up this business? Do you have have you researched at all what it costs? It's
So like, I'd say almost not everything I know, but like I would just sit in my room and watch YouTube videos.
Yep.
This was like before podcasts were like hot. Like this was like a middle school thing of mine.
Yep.
Like I learned how to edit on my own. I learned like what cameras I wanted.
Yep.
Set up. And I think a hard thing for me is like I always want to be nice. I always want to help out. So if somebody texts me, I'm gonna give you my attention. I'm gonna give you the time and respect that you deserve. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm gonna give you that. But I agree. I mean, people come in. What kind of camera is that?
Yeah.
What's the microphone on top?
Yep.
What SD card is that?
Well, they want the easiest road.
So wait. So where do you get your shoes?
Hey, can you buy those for me?
Where do you get those shoes at?
Looking for a handout now. It's like me and Ryan we were at the bowling alley, and we're just because I get with the time off that I've had, I've kind of tapped into a somewhat creative side of me, like wanting to do tie dyes and dip dyes and all this other different stuff, making bags. And we're like, Dan, you need a brand.
Right.
So we're the whole time we're sitting there ignoring everybody else what's going on. We're trying to figure out a name.
Yep.
And then a design. And it's like, it's not really going to work.
But we said that I put in the effort.
Yeah. We're sitting there bouncing ideas off and coming up with.
Part of the problem now too is like everybody wants it now.
Yep.
I watch a lot of Gary Vee. If you guys don't watch
fantastic.
Gary Vee, you need to watch him.
Yep.
And I've learned a lot from that guy over the past couple of weeks just listening to him.
He gives it to you straight. That's the thing that's great about Gary Vee is there's no bullshit with Gary Vee. He tells you exactly how it is.
But everybody wants it now, so they think, okay, I texted Marvin about starting a clothing line. I'll sell out next week. You know, like I had releases when I first started that didn't do well.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the design, whatever it is, poor marketing, it takes time to build and establish things.
Sure.
But see these people on social media that do like a one-hit TikTok that gets millions.
Yep. And then they're blowing up. Yep.
And then, you know, which is great.
Yeah.
Congrats. Hopefully you keep up with it. But
yeah, having boobs is terrific.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just talking about that. Do you know the logo girl? You see her on there, Emily something. She does the mock logos for businesses. They're like really stupid, but like businesses actually will use them for their business for like a week or whatever. And I mean, she blew up. Like she's got millions of followers on there. She's got like actual brand endorsements. And but even so people see this. This is a good example. So you'll see these TikTokers or these business people and they think it's so easy, you know, like they're doing great. I'm going to start this tomorrow and I'm going to be successful in a week. So she just started a YouTube of kind of like her day. And I watched the one the other day and it was like her process. And it's not like she gets to make a TikTok video and like hang out at home. I mean, this chick's up at 7 a.m. She has to make 12 videos that day, 4 or 5 for like different businesses for her like sponsor ads and stuff. Then she has to edit all these videos and then plug them for all of her. Like it is a business. Like she has millions of followers.
It's a brand, yeah.
But she's doing a lot of work. Yeah. It's not like people just see like the end game, but not everything that gets you there. And then you have to really fully understand all of the work that gets you from A to Z, you know, and that people don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate the work or the effort that goes into getting there and all the time in between the idea and the finished product.
Social media is its own beast. I mean,
bro, it's wild.
I love it. But I mean, if I could hire a social media manager, that'd be great. I mean, I'm posting TikToks. I'm trying to go live on TikTok. I'm trying to go live on Instagram.
Maybe that comes with age though and growth.
Insta Reels. I mean, I'm trying to go live on my personal page. I got other personal things going on that I like to promote. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
So many.
Lots of media
platforms. I mean, I think, you know, starting with one, building it up, being great at that, and then branching out is great. But I think sometimes you just got to be everywhere. You got to be on all of them.
Nowadays, you have to be able to touch so many different markets because there's so much clientele out there, and it's untouched capital. I mean, that's free marketing and free advertising. If you can create that, but that again, that's growth, and that's having a plan in place, and you kind of have to outline. I mean, I know I have a friend that does that for a living. Like her job is a social media brand manager, and she literally will set up your day of like, these are the videos and stuff we're doing. And that all comes with time, you know, but you're one person, you're trying to do everything yourself. And that's how I am. And it becomes so overwhelming. You have to like you're
I
going
try to
there, though.
delegate.
Yeah,
it's
you're
really
saying.
hard for me, but I try to delegate.
And you were talking
it's-
about the blessing of COVID a while ago too. And it's like, well, recently everybody's at home now because of that.
Yep.
So like, what better time to advertise your brand online than those 2 years or that year and a half?
Yep. So, what's the future looking like? So, I mean, you said obviously growth, obviously expansion. I mean, you're 2 years in at this point. What things do you have planned for kicks and cuts for yourself? What's your future endeavors look like? Going into 2020, you talked about giving back a little bit differently, but what else you got going on? Anything else planned?
I just really want to, like, whatever I'm doing, I want to put my best foot forward and, really put my best into it. So I'm not in a rush to open up another store. I don't really want a second location right now. I'm doing good where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't feel like duplicating myself. And I really need to build a solid team around me before I even jump to that next step.
Yep.
And like I said, I really like where I'm at right now. I know I'm not in a mall or anywhere crazy, but I like being a one-off store. I can go in when I want. I can leave when I want. I'm not giving a percentage of my sales to anybody. I'm not dealing, like, if you're coming to my store, you're either coming in to purchase something, or there's something you noticed, or you're coming for a haircut.
Yeah, malls are dead anyway. Be your own thing.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
So I love where I'm at. I really want to stay with my mom. Whether that's us moving to another location together somewhere, but I think all the different aspects that we offer as one whole is amazing.
Yeah,
and there's nobody doing that in the area in one location. But I mean, there's a lot of growth that can still be done just in that space, whether that's new inventory or, I mean, we're getting new stuff in daily, which is cool. Whether it's somebody bringing something up like you do, or a shipment coming in, clothes. So it's exciting. I go into work with a smile. I hate to call it work. It's not work. I've enjoyed this last year and a half.
That's the secret,
Right.
Yep. Do something you love and it'll never be considered work.
That's what I've been struggling with, trying to find something that I feel like I could be good at and enjoy. So it's not like work, because my last job, it was nothing but work. So,
and I think some of it too is like stepping out of your comfort zone. Like, that's what I did. Like, I think I was telling you, like, I didn't have Jordans. I didn't have Yeezys. I wore Vans. And that's what I wore. Like, in high school, I wore Vans and Nikes. And like, I knew nothing about the sneaker game when I was opening my store. Like, I didn't know what to pay for shoes. I didn't know how to check market. I just opened my store. I opened it. I just went for it. I jumped.
Took the leap
of faith.
Yep.
So now I can look back and say I do know those things, or legit checking, different things like that you don't think about.
Yep.
Your eagerness definitely drove you. That's for sure.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask is, have you had quite a few fakes come across your counter?
Yeah, for sure.
And what's like the telltale signs that you find? Because I look at the shoes. I'm more or less retail or bust. Sometimes I'll get off of StockX or GOAT or whatever, but I hardly ever go to somebody else to get a pair of shoes.
I've had fakes come in from StockX or GOAT. I mean, you got to.
Can you check these? Because I
mean, you got to think about it. You work for StockX, you work for GOAT. You had a terrible day. You're coming into work. You have to, take pictures of a couple dozen shoes, and you're just sitting there, okay, I guess I'll check. Okay, click. Okay, I guess it's cool. All right, next one.
Right.
Yeah. You let one slip by, gets to the customer.
They don't know.
That customer says, "Oh, this is GOAT verified. I'll show you the receipt." Okay, then it gets passed on.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens. And then I think another thing that happens is us not consumers, us store owners, we get comfortable with the same people that we buy off of constantly.
Yeah.
But that person's getting comfortable with the person they're buying off of. So maybe you get 50 pairs of shoes in from this person. Maybe they're the same exact shoe. You just got 50 pairs in different sizes. And you're like, I'm not going to go through all of these. He wouldn't mess me up. And then something slips, and then it gets to the customer. And that's why I really want to have dead stock at the sneaker events this summer, have a nice authentication booth. If you're worried about the shoes that you got. And there's also an app called Check. So you can take pictures of your shoes on there and get back to you in like 30 minutes, whether it's legit or not. But I really I need a receipt. I need some proof. Where did this come from? Then we have the black light. You can use the black light on the midsole, the box. Definitely always check the insole. And I mean, it's just nice if somebody comes in with a receipt. I mean, it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm that way with like jerseys. Like I've gotten, because I have over 100 of them at my house, and like I've been able to pick out an imperfection like that. Like 100 feet away, I could tell you what a fake is.
And I think there's two different markets. I mean, there's some people that want to have the jersey collection you have, but they don't care if it's fake.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know? But then for someone like you, you're like, I mean, I'm invested in this. I don't want a fake jersey. You know what I mean? So one of my buddies came up to my story. He's like, I think I'm just going to get into fake shoes. I was like, I mean, that's cool. I mean,
don't try to pass them off as real.
Just don't try to
as long as it's for yourself.
You know?
That's crossed my mind quite a few times. Like the off-white Jordans, like the North Carolina, the UNC colorway, the Chicago. Like I want those shoes, but I don't want to pay $2-3 grand for them, $5 grand. So I'll spend the $180 for a good fake pair.
Yeah.
Just so I can rock and make it.
There's people that flex fake collections on TikTok and they're famous.
Yeah.
And there's millions of comments like, why do you buy fakes?
Yeah.
Because I ain't got it like all the rest.
Yeah. There's an industry in itself. I mean, that's the hardest part, I think, about the shoe industry, is because it has become so popular. I mean, I love shoes. I have a very small collection because they're so hard to get. You know, there's shoes that I want, like the 85s Dan's got on. I want those, but I'm like, do I really want to spend the money retail or resale? And getting them retail is so hard. You know, if you're not within, I don't know what the freaking algorithms are for sneakers or whatever it might be to get you to win. But so there is that market for fakes, as long as you're okay with it. And as long as Dan kind of said, you're not trying to pass them off to somebody as real, whatever. I mean, you got to know that they're fake and be okay with that. But the shoe industry is
but it's never gonna fade though.
No.
A lot of people ask like, I'm surprised you went into shoes. Like, who knows where that's gonna go
forever.
It's like
I'm gonna be looking at my kids one day like, I ain't paying that.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's something
better work good or get into the shop and work.
Right. It's something that people always need. So it's
always gonna need shoes. Maybe they don't want to pay that dollar amount, but there's always gonna be that person that wants to pay that dollar amount to say they have these shoes.
Sure. They're art. I mean, shoes are just a form of art and expression, just like anything else that you wear with clothing. So I mean, there's definitely obviously a market for it. I mean, you have a whole shop based off of it. So
and then combine the haircuts. Haircuts aren't ever gonna go anywhere.
Right, bro.
Hair always grows.
Yep.
Yeah, like the Panda Dunks, the black and white Dunks. I cannot hit a retail pair of those for the life of me. Like they've had so many restocks, and I've tried hitting on every single one of them, and they go so fast.
That's a shoe that literally got taken up by TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, the Dunk in general.
Yeah.
I mean, when I opened, Dunks weren't.
No.
Nobody cared about a Dunk low.
No.
That and it's they
weren't making a lot. They weren't making a lot of them though. And now they're like every week there's a colorway coming out.
What's the ones? I think are they the Air Force One all whites that are huge right now? The lows.
Yeah,
that's a huge TikTok thing right now. Is the all white
resellers,
and they're like dirty Air Force Ones. They're not even like new and clean. It's the kids rocking like dirty ass. And that's like a huge deal. It's like a huge trend on TikTok.
They just show them off.
The ankle socks with the rolled up jeans, and then the white Air Force Air Force Ones.
Air Force Ones are hot,
bro. It's crazy right now.
I just got like a size run in a little bit ago.
Yep.
And they don't fly automatically, but people trickle in like, oh my god, you have Air Forces? I'm like, yeah,
dude, it's wild.
You can't find them at Finish Line. You can't find them at Dick's or nowhere.
Because TikTok, man.
Do you remember that story of the Nike exec whose son was getting all the pairs and she got? Guess what? Since that's happened, I still haven't been able to hit on anything. So it wasn't him that was screwing us all up.
I think I hit on 3 pairs this year on sneakers.
I think I hit 2,
and it's like people. I don't get it. It fucking sucks. Do you get? Do we talk about that? You know, don't give your plug out. But like, what do you have? Do you do sneakers and stuff like that to try and get shoes for your store, or you're buying mainly?
I mean, if it's for me, I'll try, but I never really hit. I have a lot of people like. Kind of built it up to the point where like when a shoe releases, I have like a bunch of different people that'll hit me up. Yeah. But then I know I can have a bulk guy that I can text. It'll be a little bit of a higher premium price because he'll probably have like all the sizes I need and some couple of kits in those. So it'll be a little bit higher. I'll normally pay like StockX Axe.
Makes sense.
But or a little under StockX Axe probably. But it depends on the hype of the sneaker. It depends on what it is. I mean,
for sure.
You're not going to buy a size run of any Dunk for
No.
I'm not paying anywhere next to retail. I don't think there's any store owners that are doing that.
Yeah.
For anybody that's like, oh, why are you charging?
Yeah.
I charge right at the StockX value.
Yep.
Or whatever the market value is, and I buy just basically around that.
Yeah.
You know,
You're selling what, I mean, you're selling at what StockX is going for, the retail value there, but you're also, the person's not any worse off. They can get the shoe right then and there. They're not waiting on shipping and authentication, and they can see the shoe and hold it and know what they're buying. So,
and that's why sometimes I'll charge over the StockX buy now price. I mean, you can come into my store, you can try it on, you can make sure it fits, and everything's going to be,
you're walking out with the shoe, you know, you're not having to go through that process of waiting 2-3 weeks for the shoe to get shipped out and then for it to be authenticated and come back. And
Nike or Jordan wants to sponsor me. I'll sell everything for retail.
Bro.
Just give me a contract.
Right.
Small mom and pop operation there. Those names.
Yeah. I mean, I always wondered that though. Like, how do you, I mean, I know some retailers you can at a smaller scale get wholesale accounts with. Nike, I can't imagine. I mean,
never know. Deleting contracts.
Yeah, they're overstocked. Well, yeah, I mean, they just sold down, or they limited their, was it Foot Locker that they're like changing out there?
I would never say that I couldn't get that contract. I don't know if I would want that in a certain aspect. I mean, who wouldn't want a contract with Nike? Right. But I mean, I kind of like the resale value, like check and market, you know, it's like part of the game for me. I feel like I would be taken out of the resale game completely if I just became a retail store. Yeah. I would definitely get a lot more traffic. Probably people like, oh yeah, I can go to Marvin's, get it for retail or raffles and stuff, but it just wouldn't be the same.
You also got to think that with contracts like that, you know, that there's minimums and crap like that you got to hold, you know, like it, and that, like you said, that's not your store experience. You know, you're not a Finish Line or a Foot Locker, you know, you are.
And even those stores, setup. I mean, I feel like coming into my store is more exciting than going into any of those stores.
Yeah. I
mean, they're great, but like I'd say any of the resale shops in the area, I find more joy going in there than going into a Finish Line.
Those are conveyor belt stores is what I call them. Like they're a lot like what you were talking about. You didn't want a second location. Right. That's the thing. You're unique. It's that one location that's the reason people come back to it. Right. That's the thing with Foot Locker. You'll never get. They all look the same. They all run the same. Yeah.
And they don't have anything like crazy.
No.
Right. I think that's all the main questions. I guess my only thing would be is like a takeaway for anyone looking to, I mean, like you said, you just turned 20. You know, so you didn't graduate that long ago. You went the college route and realized that wasn't for you. What kind of advice or just like a final thought for someone that's teetering on the idea of business ownership, or, you know, just taking that next leap in anything, anything that you could offer just from your overall experience?
I would say you're going to have a lot of voices in your ear, whether you come from a single parent home, you have both parents, or you have no parents at all. You're still going to have a lot of voices, whether it's friends, relationships, whatever it may be. And some of those voices will be negative. Some of them will be positive, most likely negative. So I would just say, focus on yourself, believe in yourself, watch some podcasts. I do a lot of that. I'm always watching YouTube and podcasts, and I like to watch positive stuff. You know, I like to watch the BS sometimes too, but I really like to focus in and hone in on positive stuff. So Gary Vee is a great one to watch. Devontae Friga is a mentor of mine that I love to watch. There's just a couple people that like I can not confide. It's almost like confide in.
Yeah, find someone you connect to.
You know,
somebody you can connect to through their experiences and their words and stuff.
Right. So I would just say, you know, believe in yourself, which is, you know, everybody says that, but really like find joy in what you do and don't worry about the money. I mean, money obviously runs the world. You need money to get around, do the things you need to do. But if you're so money hungry and so focused on the money, at some point, that belt, that trip, that clothing item, those shoes won't matter to you anymore if you're not happy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just what it is. I enjoy what I do. I'm happy with what I'm doing. Some days are slow, some days are better, and you save for those rainy days, and you do, you know, I do my thing. I'm happy.
Yep.
I could care less about what's in the bank account, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about happiness. And I'm happy to say that I'm happy with what I'm doing and the direction that I'm going towards. And I think if you're aspiring to do something, don't worry about the money. Don't sit on social media to the point where you're depressed about somebody else that's doing something in your field. I mean, you guys could sit and watch a million other podcasts and say, oh, I wish we had that set up. Oh, I wish we were interviewing that person. But if you don't start and say, all right, we're recording today, we're recording with Marvin, and this recording with Marvin could go to somebody else and to somebody else and to somebody else, or start a different series that somebody else isn't doing, you know, start something, start it. Absolutely. It's not going to be the best.
Just like that intro. Just do it.
Just do it. No, it's well said. I mean, you have to take that. You got to take that leap of faith and just like you said, if you're doing it for the money, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You know, the cliche is money doesn't buy the happiness, but it's true. You have to enjoy the product or the end goal of what you want before the money is going to matter. Right. Because otherwise, if you're just chasing that, you're never going to be happy and you're never going to get to where you want for the most part.
Because even as an entrepreneur, I mean, my money isn't guaranteed ever.
Right.
I could have a week where nobody comes and purchases anything at my store.
Yep.
So, I mean, I could have definitely, you know, went the college route, gone into a Fortune 500 company, worked my way up, be on a salary where I'm not worried about anything. But I don't want to clock in for somebody else. I don't want to be a yes man. I really want to be myself, be my own person. Yep. Be able to travel, create, motivate, inspire. You know, that's what I want to do.
Yep. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I mean, your story is inspiring. Again, your age and what you've done in the short period of time you've been doing it, and your willingness to give back. I mean, that's a huge thing for me personally. I love to see people that are willing to give back to their community and help people when they have the ability to do so. I think it's something that we as a society could do more often, and that we don't. So we appreciate you coming on. Any final thoughts or words from you guys before we let Marv take off?
The great thing about this show is that I can give it a few minutes and Ryan will say exactly what I was getting ready to say. So he about half of that was there. The only thing I'll add to it is just that, you know, your fearlessness, your resiliency, your confidence, everything seems to have packaged itself perfectly here. I think it's remarkable because your age of 20 and it just feels like you've lived a lifetime already of experience that you're passing off to other people. Your story is inspiring and I wish you nothing but success. And I thank you for coming on this show and sharing it with us.
Thank you. I'd love for you to come up sometime and check it out.
Absolutely, man. And I'm going to beat that Pac-Man record
and get some size 16.
Come up this week, man.
Yeah. And for me, like just from the first interaction with you in the shop that day, it's like, I think the next time I saw you was at SneakerCon Cleveland and the same, you presented that same smile and positivity. And that's what I admire about you. Just the hard work that you've done to get that sneaker store and the barbershop up and running and growing and still finding that time to be a people person. A lot of people get ingrained in the hard work and lose sight of that. You keep that at the top of your list.
Absolutely.
And then just coming in a couple of weeks ago, selling you some shoes, you know, you had your camera set up. I watched your YouTube video. I had a little snippet of me in there selling you my shoes. Yeah, no.
Famous.
We made it.
Yeah.
We made it, man.
I think the next time I'm in your store, I'm definitely gonna be purchasing something. Yeah. Absolutely. I've sold you probably 15 pairs.
Yeah, something like that.
But
honestly, the sales, I mean, they matter. They're helpful,
of course.
But I really enjoy, like, you know, coming up, just interacting. I mean, and I don't want it to be, you know, when somebody comes up, they're like, oh, I gotta have a 45-minute combo with Marvin, but it's genuine.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
We probably just chatted for 45 minutes talking about sneakers. Yep. You guys mentioned the podcast the first time you came up. Yep. You came up, you were telling me about your job. Like you're comfortable enough with me to explain personal things, you know, like, Marv, I got this job. Like, I'm super excited. Like, you probably wouldn't just tell some random person that.
No.
So, like, there's some trust, there's some faith of just coming up to the store and you're like, hey, Marv, like, this is what I did.
Comfort.
You know? Comfort. Yeah, that's the word.
Yep.
And we talked a little bit about potential car show / sneaker.
Yeah, be dope.
I'd love to do something like that. Whatever we got to do to get that rolling. I need to get my reach out a little bit more for the car side, but you advertise that somewhere. I mean,
well, what I told him
car
is
groups.
The mayor, they do a car show down on Front Street. And I think it's free admission or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I just told him, I'm really good friends with the mayor.
Yeah.
We could just set something up with the mayor and do it down on Front Street in the Falls.
Be
And
dope.
I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, imagine you guys have like right on the crossing of Portage Trail and Front Street, the podcast
Be
setups
dope.
in the middle of the road. So you guys just have different car guys pulling up their cars and talking to them.
Be sick, dude. Yeah,
I think it'd be
I
sweet.
love that type of stuff.
Let's
And
do
that's
it.
not something that you see, that the car group of people and the sneaker side of it
Right.
coming together. And I think there's more of that out there than you think. I mean, when I bought that car, I was like, I want to go to like sneaker shows and
right.
maybe sell some stuff out of the back of my trunk.
Trunk
whatever.
sale.
Exactly.
Trunk sale.
Sale.
And I think another thing that I'd like to leave everybody with is just like dream like stupid. Like
Yeah.
where like if I were to say like what I'm thinking about or where I want to be, you guys would all look at me like, yeah, cool. All right, Marvin.
Yeah,
You know, like, that's-
whatever
I
you
want to
said.
leave like
Yeah.
somebody's face should be speechless when you tell them like what you
Your
want.
ambitions
to, like,
are.
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I absolutely. You don't want to be dreaming at just the same level that where everyone else is at. You know, you should be striving for
And
the next
surround yourself
level.
around people that care about you, that want
Yep.
the best for you.
absolutely.
I mean, you guys genuinely care about each other. You guys have been doing this podcast. You guys mess around with each other. I mean, it's genuine. I could feel the vibe when I walked in here.
Yeah.
It's genuine. It's genuine. It's very genuine.
Yeah.
I
We
said that 3
appreciate it.
times. Did I say that 3 times?
3 times.
I said it 3
It's,
times.
it's super genuine.
Yeah.
It's genuine squared to the 3rd power.
Genuine times 4.
But seriously, like
And
surround yourself with people that have your best interest and care about you.
Yep. Eliminate those negative chirpers, as you mentioned earlier, because you're always going to have that. You're going to have the
They're
doubters.
everywhere.
You have tons of people that want to doubt you or tell you why you're going to do that. You're not going to be successful. Those people don't matter. And you're going to find that anywhere. You have to tune that out.
And you're gonna have
Focus on
people
you.
that agree with you though.
Absolutely.
They agree with you too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that you say can't
They're
be right.
riding.
Yes.
I'll be honest. Even myself. I spit out a lot of ideas throughout the day.
Yeah.
You can't just have yes men around you that are like, oh,
Yeah.
Marvin, that's the best idea you said in the last 3 minutes.
You got to have people that are comfortable telling you yes and telling you no.
Yeah.
You know, those true friends that are close to you that are going to tell you, Marv, look, I love you, but it's probably not the best idea. And you can respect that. There's a
Right.
difference between being negative and people that are just genuinely caring about your success and your ambitions and stuff. So you find that niche of people, and those are the people you keep around. And you know, you don't need a huge circle of supporters or friends. You need those that few close that really matter. So
I watched Big A Customs. He does
Yeah.
the watches. He had a TikTok today. That I saw today, and it's like, remember those OGs, those that were with you at the beginning.
Yep.
They're gonna be with you no matter what.
Yep.
Those friends that you make when you're at the top are only there because you're at the top.
Yep.
They're still friends. You're gonna have a lot more of them, but don't ever forget about those that have been with you for forever and have been that person in your ear, helping you, motivating you.
I've been doing rock everywhere for 15 years, 16 years now. And I still got people that were buying stuff day one that if I put out something new, even it's the littlest or stupidest thing, they will still 100% support me or message me about it. And not even people that I know, but there's people that will be genuine and respecting what you do. And Chris probably has it with his movie reviews and stuff as well. You find those people that really support you, whether it's in friendship or business or aspirations and whatever it is. And those are the things we have to appreciate. You know, we get discouraged when it's, you know, I didn't sell any shoes today, but you know what? You have that one person that is always there for you no matter what in what you're doing. And that's what's really important.
That's the retail game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being honest.
Man.
I mean, you know, what my slow day probably isn't what Urban Necessity's slow day is, but you know, I mean, you're gonna have days where there's no sales. You're gonna have days where, you know, somebody comes and cashes out.
Yep.
That's how
Name of the
it
game.
comes to the business management side of it, where you know you got to be smart with purchases. You got to be smart with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
what do you think as far as inventory? Like, he's got Urban Necessities. He goes to sneaker shows and buys out everybody's stock. Like,
so he doesn't.
no.
So he does have a certain amount of inventory that he does buy, but on top of that, he does consignment. So a lot of those, and I'm not shitting on him. I love TJ's, who's one of my mentors, but a lot of those cash out pictures are normally just consignment shoes that he picked up. People came by the table, dropped it off, and he has a crazy
Gotcha.
way for you to be able to see how your shoe's doing in the store and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, he probably does do cash outs. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is consignment.
Yeah. Nice.
But I do really appreciate you guys having me on.
Dude,
this
I
was
appreciate
super
you coming.
epic.
Dude,
And I really like this setup is sick.
I
This
appreciate it,
setup
man.
is sick. The
Come back
table,
anytime.
the
Yep.
lights. You guys got some
Except for the ones that
shoes
don't
up,
work.
yeah, the ones that don't work.
some action
That's all right.
figures, some like OG stuff.
Do you
I mean,
kind of see a theme? Like you got the movie
yeah.
Film Freak.
These are
and
our
the
segments.
movies.
So Chris is our the Hollywood Report segment, which is movies and music and stuff. So movie stuff there, and then Dan's the shoe guy. So that's the sports. It was Jesse who was our Sports Illustrated writer, and that was like shoes and stuff like that. And then I'm into a little bit of everything. So the pop culture stuff, but
His tattoo on his arm is all
it's on the
those.
wall. But yeah, just
I mean,
kind
it's
of a
super
feel
sick
good
in here,
vibe and
man.
hang
Like,
out,
it
and
feels good. Like
appreciate it, man. We do appreciate you coming on. Guest shows are, as we always say, our most
Love it.
important episode. You know, I started the show to want to, you know, obviously be positive and motivate people and have other people come on and tell their important and inspiring stories. So for you to take time out of your busy day in life to come, it means a lot. And I think people will get a lot out of listening to your story. So
I hope so.
this will be on all of the sites and stuff as usual. Make sure you guys check out Marvin's Instagram. No comment from you, Peanut Gallery back there. Follow Marvin. It's Kicks and Cuts on everything, right?
KICKS, the letter N, and then Cut, CUTS. You can check me out on YouTube as well. You can go to the website. We also offer Afterpay on the website. So
I just saw that.
if you don't want to pay $300 for your shoes up front, just go on Afterpay. You can still pick up the shoes same day, make some monthly payments on them. And you can book for haircuts on the website as well. And hope to see you guys in store soon.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That is Made to Motivate podcast. Make sure you tune into the show every week. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so you know when the new videos launch. And check out our pages individually if you can. We appreciate the support. At Jesse Unk SI on Twitter. Chris, the Film Freak Kessinger. Check out the Film Freak review page on Facebook. And I am Ryan Weiss. You can check out rockeverywhereinc.etsy.com to follow my art and apparel page. We appreciate the support. And, of course, at Made to Motivate podcast on all social media sites. Thanks again, and we'll check you next week.